I think what a lot of people do is they put in a lot of effort into relationships without understanding the connection those relationships are based on, without really knowing why they're in a relationship. I'm not suggesting that that's the case with either of the two of you or any of my students, but I'm suggesting this is the case with most people that I know who've tried to build relationships. What's the foundation? And the foundation isn't something you build, it's there because there's already some shared interest. There's some values that you already share. Because if there isn't values that you already share, what are you building? If there isn't some interests that you already share, then why are you trying to build a relationship? Right? So in my concept of bridges is those original and simple, easy connections that don't require effort. And the reason I would shine beacons on those is because sometimes our values and interests change. And for me, it is things as simple as Chinese food or you know, or as complex as politics or philosophy or any of those kinds of things. It can be simple or it can be complex, but it's still one thing. And that's the point of having several of them, because as we change, we can change which bridges we have. We can move where the bridge is or change the value it's on, and that's the point of the beacons. We only bring up barriers. Barriers are designed to create a distance between myself and someone else on a particular topic. They're designed to separate myself from someone else on a particular topic. If my brother keeps insisting that we have to go for coffee at a certain coffee shop every Monday afternoon, and I'd rather do something else on Monday afternoons, I'm going to say, brother, we are not going for coffee on Monday afternoons at that joint. That's a barrier. There is a distance between my brother and I on that topic. That doesn't mean that him and I can't be close. All I'm saying is that is, and this is where barriers are much closer to traditional boundaries. I will not tolerate this still coming up in our relationship. This is not welcome as a part of our relationship. It's designed to create distance. And that's one of the things that I wanted to create unconditional boundaries for, is to show people that the boundaries we've traditionally been using actually create space between ourselves and someone else. They create distance between us and them. They don't bring us closer. There are two other boundaries we can use to bring us closer and analyze our level of connection. The barriers that we put down to limit how people can treat us, to control how people can treat us, those don't have the capacity to build relationships, but they can limit the harm someone can do in relationships. And that's their intention, to limit the harm someone can do. And this is why we would have various barriers in various ways, in various places. And in other places, we can, not always, but we can have bridges. Right? I want to create a relationship where you can have some barriers and some bridges. There are some places we don't connect and some places we do. This is how we can be friends with people who don't like some of the same things we like, or who intentionally have opposing opinions to ours, or opposing interests or values to ours. We can still be friends with them in other ways. Right? Some of the people I value most and have had the longest term friendships with, there are some things we are very much opposed on our opinions and our interests, or even on our values. But there are other things that we very much believe the same, so we connect on those things. And that was the point I was creating when I created bridges and barriers in the first place, is to offer several options of how we can connect. Some of them we're going to say absolutely not, this does not work, and some of them we're going to say, yeah, let's connect on this. And in those cases, we'll probably not have really, really close relationships, but we can still be friends. We can still be family. And actually, that's often the case with family. We put up a bunch of barriers with family who's often hurtful, but that doesn't mean we never want to see them again. It just limits contact. We can only discuss or only hang out or only share these kinds of topics, not those other ones. Barriers block certain topics. Bridges build a connection between certain topics. This is about identifying how to connect and identifying how to not connect, how to avoid connection. Right. And that's the whole point of what I came up with unconditional boundaries for, is change the focus from in a relationship or not, from black or white, from on or off, to, well, these things we can connect on and those things we can't. Right. And that's kind of the point of bridges and barriers.